Mister? Mister?
I didn't even know you were back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking?
No, I'm through.
Ah. Well, I'm glad you reminded me. I've got to call Mr. Graham. Come on, let's get dressed. We don't want him to catch us in our underwear.
That's great. Perfect. Look like a winner. Before we roll, I want to get this Bible in the shot. We'll put it right here, and then we'll use it in the interview. Worked for Jimmy Carter.
Dan, listen, if you don't mind, I would much rather not use this. I am a Christian, but it's a quiet thing with me. I wouldn't feel right playing upon this. Do you mind?
Oh, sure. No problem.
Good.
Okay. Let's roll it.
You ready?
2, 1, cue. Turn looser to 1 with a rise when your light comes on. Dissolve.
Well, to answer that question, I'm going to have to use a very old-fashioned term. I'm a reform candidate. I want to make changes. I'd like to bring into government the same principles that we use in my business and in our home here. And that's a commitment to truth and to honesty. Now, people should know the truth about the assessor's office, and then changes can be made. I guess what I'm saying is that I will tell you the truth. There'll be nothing to hide.
Ms. Marvin?
Yes.
Hi, Maggie Brown, Social Services. How are you? Why don't you come with me and I'll take you to your uncle's room.
Oh, thank you.
The doctor's with him now.
Dr. Andrews, Dr. Sharon Andrews, please report to X-ray.
Hi, Maggie.
Doctor, this is Ms. Marvin, Mr. Lockett's niece.
Hi.
She's been taking care of him.
He fell once before, Doctor, just about a year ago. He was just beginning to get up and around again.
It must have been a pretty rough fall. Here's the pressure point right here. I just talked to Dr. Marley, and he agrees with me. He thinks we should operate in the morning.
Can he survive that, Doctor?
Well, we'll do what we can. Miss Marvin?
Yes.
But one thing I was wondering about, on his left leg, right below the knee, there's an abrasion, like something may have struck him.
Do you mean like a car?
Well, that's what I was wondering about. It would have just been a glancing blow, but it might have caused the fall.
I never thought of it. You mean somebody may have hit him?
Well, I can't say. But if there's a chance there was a car involved, then maybe we ought to call the police.
Yes.
I'm home. Oh, hey, buddy. Hello. Oh, hi, Bob. Yes, I thought about it. No, I'm not going to run that kind of campaign. I know it may cost me some votes. I'm just going to have to risk that. Bob, don't worry about it. I'll talk to you in the morning, okay? Good night. Hey, are you here?
I'm in here.
Hi, how you doing? So, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Stop by the market on Hill Street. I got us some vegetables. You hungry?
I guess so.
I talked to Jim Graham today. He said he might be able to get us an advanced look at that Times poll. I ran into Mrs. Freeman in the market. Did you hear about Mr. Lockett?
Who's he?
He's the old gentleman who lives around the corner with his niece. He's in the hospital. Must be pretty serious with his age. Well, it seems that he fell and hit his head. Mrs. Freeman said that he was unconscious when they picked him up. He must have taken him into Westbrook. That's the nearest. Oh, for crying out loud. Would you believe that I forgot the eggs? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're pretty quiet. I know how it is, Luke. I mean, both of us still miss your mother. And I'm only here part of the time. I'll make you a promise. Now, election is almost 2 weeks away. This political business really is important to me. I mean, it's a great way to be of help to a lot of people.
I know.
All right. I think we're gonna win. I mean, really win. And then we can have a lot of good times together. Okay? But until then, we have to win. So you gotta hang in there. All right? I'm gonna make us something to eat. But tomorrow night, you're gonna be the cook.
Looks like he's hardly breathing at all.
Yeah, it's a head injury. Breathing, like everything else, is controlled in the brain. An injury like this, we're always afraid of pneumonia or some other complication.
I'm not going to find out anything from him, am I?
Not for a time. I'm afraid it may be a long time. He may be comatose for weeks. There's just no way of telling. But I'll have social services call you as soon as he can talk to you.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
May I help you?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to see Mr. Lockett.
Well, visitors under 16 have to be accompanied by an adult. But I'm afraid you couldn't see him anyway. Mr. Lockett is unconscious.
He is?
Are you a relative?
No.
Are those for him?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't think he'd still be unconscious.
Well, I'll put them in his room. But he's never regained consciousness. He was operated on this morning. Do you know that?
No. I thought maybe I could talk to him.
I'm afraid not.
Excuse me. Mr. Lockett's niece called. There hasn't been any change, has there?
No, just the same. This is a friend of Mr. Lockett's here.
Well, not exactly.
I think you and I know each other, don't we? You're Frank Barton's son. We met in church.
Oh, yeah. I'm Luke.
Oh, I'm Maggie Brown. I'm a social service counselor here.
You know my father?
Frank Barton? I sure do. We used to sing in the choir together. Can I help you here?
No, I was just leaving.
I'll put these in his room.
Thanks.
Bye.
Tell your father hello, and tell him his TV interview was excellent.
I will. I'm sorry about Mr. Lockett.
Hi.
Hi. Thought you'd be at the meeting.
I was. Something came up. I had a tough decision to make, so I came home. I needed some quiet time. What's doing?
Nothing. What kind of decision did you have to make?
Remember Mr. Dimmick? Yeah, we always suspected him of taking favors from the developers, the people whose buildings he assessed. Well, we can prove it now. We got some pretty damaging evidence. And the decision is whether or not to use it.
Well, why wouldn't you?
It's like mudslinging, name calling.
Then they'll try to find out something about you?
Well, I'm not afraid of that. It just smacks of cheap politics, that's all, and I've tried to stay clear of that. But the people do have a right to know. I'm just not sure whether it should be me 2 weeks before the election. That's the tough decision. Want a glass of water?
No thanks, Dad. How do you decide?
How?
Yeah.
Boy, that's really a good question. That's probably what life is all about, making decisions. You make one decision, then you make another one, and another one, and another one.
I know.
How? Well, you think about it, and you pray about it. The really important thing is to have the right motive, to really want to make the right decisions. That's the toughest part. Hey, come here. Take a look at this. Have you ever really read this?
Mm-mm.
Your grandpa gave it to me when I was your age.
The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right though the heavens fall.
Now, do you know what that means?
Sounds like doing the right thing no matter what happens.
You got it.
Can you always know what's right?
Oh. Luke, sometimes there's what seems right, and then there's what's really right. Now, what I mean by that is sometimes what seems right because it's to your advantage may not be right at all, because it goes against the Bible and what Jesus taught us about not hurting other people.
Even though you know it's right, how can you really do it if it means you might lose everything?
Yeah, sometimes it's very hard to do, son. It takes a lot of prayer. But I'll tell you something. Once you decide to do what you know is right, even though it cost you, God will always be there to give you the strength to make those decisions.
God helps, huh?
Always.
don't suppose there's any point in waiting. I'm not helping him any.
Well, your uncle certainly has a loyal friend down there.
Oh? Who's that?
Luke Barton, the boy there on the bench. He brought flowers the other day.
Oh, I know him. He lives on our block. I never knew his name, but his father's running for county assessor.
I'm surprised. I got the impression that he and your uncle were pretty good friends.
Oh, no. Uncle Will hardly ever got out of the house. He didn't know any of the kids.
Really? I thought they must be very good friends.
No.
I'm surprised. He seemed so very concerned about your uncle. I thought they must have been very old friends.
Luke? You home?
Yes, sir.
Oh, here you are. Listen, I'd like to go out and eat.
Okay.
Had some good news today. Thought maybe we could do a little celebrating tonight. You know that time, School? We're leading. Hey, we're not just gaining, we're leading. We're gonna win. Okay, Mosavi, you and me, as soon as I change my shirt. Hey, will you get that?
Okay.
Hello. Is your mother home?
My father is.
Well, I'd like to speak to him for a moment. In fact, I'd like to speak to both of you.
Dad?
Yeah?
There's a police officer at the door. He wants to talk to you.
Well, tell him to come on in. Offer him a seat. I'll be right in.
You can come in if you want to.
Thank you.
Hi. My name's Frank Barton. What can I do for you?
How do you do? I'm from Accidents Investigation. I'm trying to talk to as many people as I can catch on the block today. Do you know Mr. Lockett? Old gentleman who lives toward the end of the block?
Yes. I don't really know the man. I understand he's in the hospital. Somebody said he fell and hit his head.
Well, we think it might be hit and run.
Ooh.
A report was filed. We have to check it out. It happened day before yesterday around noontime, in the alley back that way.
Well, that was the day we were on television. We were here all the time. Wait a minute. No, you went over to see Billy.
I didn't go down the alley.
Well, did you hear any noise? Brakes, maybe, in that vicinity?
No, I didn't hear anything.
I'm sorry. We're not much help.
That's all right. I appreciate your time.
You know, it's hard to believe that somebody would hit an old man like that.
Well, we don't have anything one way or the other. It happens. Thanks again.
Surely. Bye. You know, I can't understand that. Somebody doing that and not saying anything. Let me get my coat.
If you want to talk about it. Well, sometime. It doesn't have to be now.
I hit Mr. Lockett.
You mean you ran into him? That's what knocked him down?
Yes.
I wondered if that wasn't what happened.
How did you know?
Oh, I didn't know. I just wondered. You didn't mean to.
No. But then I ran away.
Why?
I don't know. I was scared and I didn't even tell anybody.
Well, you could tell them now.
Yes, I could.
Is that what you want to do?
I don't know if that's what I want, but it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Even if it cost Dad the election?
You're more important to him than the election.
I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't.
You didn't kill him. They took him out because he regained consciousness. He's improving.
You mean
He's getting better.
would you take me to Mr. Lockett? I'd like to tell him first.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Mr. Lockett would appreciate that. Come on.